Hello, everybody. I'm Billy Anderson, voice actor, voiceover artist, and CEO of Billy Anderson Voices. I'm also privileged to be the MC and the voice of Veteran Comic Con. I'm here today with a really amazing guy. He's an artist, a poet, a writer, and a Marine Corps veteran. Hoorah! Hoorah!
Well,
He's also a toy designer and the founder and primary artist of Big C Toys. And that's Mr. Colin Hoffman, also known as Big C. How are you
sure.
doing, Colin?
I'm doing great. By the way, with both of our voices, this might go viral as like was that ASMR? Is that what that's called?
Maybe so. Maybe so. Let's hope it does.
Yeah,
We'll
I
both
was
be happy.
I was surprised that you said poet because I'm actually introducing a large section of my poetry in the show that we're going to speak about later, and
Oh,
I
that's
didn't tell you
exciting.
that.
All
So
right.
this is going to be
Fantastic.
the first time I'm exposing that to the world. And it's kind of scary for me, but it's time. So,
Absolutely. With that kind of lead in, artist, poet, writer, Marine Corps vet, tell us a little bit about your early background that kind of led you into these numerous roles that you're now playing.
well, I was born in the San Francisco Bay Area, up and down the peninsula and San Francisco for the first 17, 18 years of my life before I joined the Marine Corps. Pretty rough background, violent and, drug riddled and stuff. A Vietnam veteran dad for the first 4 to 5 years of my life. Lived with him. He was still in my life, sort of distantly after that as well. But
So you grew up in that 70s era, and we all know
yes, yes, I
what
was
that
born in
70s era,
1972.
yeah.
Yeah, 1972. Exposure to a lot of wonderful cultural stuff. I mean, the Bay Area was the creative breeding ground for just so much. Whether it be activism, music, poetry,
The art scene.
just
Yeah.
everything.
How old were you when you started tapping into that for yourself and really kind of developing this sense of being an artist and wanting to move in that direction?
I mean, fully embracing it consciously, it was probably about when I was 39. It
Wow.
was late in life. I've been writing poetry all my life, but I was afraid to show it, big masculine Marine covered in tattoos, lifting weights, playing football, violent guy, all that, whatever, And there's no way I was going to show the poetry. Even to this day, it's sort of terrifying that people are going to be reading some of this stuff, especially with the content that it's about. That I'm just waiting for them to come like lock me in a straitjacket and throw me away when they read some of these words.
You mentioned being a big strong Marine, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but you are a Marine Corps veteran. You did serve our country. What made you decide to go in that specific direction at that early age?
Well, I said my dad was a Vietnam vet, and I felt kind of terrorized most of my life. And there was basically a time where it was time for me to join the military, and it was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way. And I don't want to insult anybody else out there in the other branches when
We're
I
gonna
say
we're
this,
we're gonna let it be as it
but
is. Go
right.
ahead, say what you got to say.
As an 18-year-old kid, I was like, well, I'm going to show up this guy that terrorized me my whole life and one up him and become a Marine.
I
And
get that.
that's the way I felt at the time. I mean, I'm not saying I don't feel that way now, but we're all brothers and sisters at this point. And so I'm not trying to put anybody else down from the other branches. I will when we're face to face. We'll do our banter and have our fun. But just know I do love all of you, and I'm fighting for all of you for better conditions for all of us at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. So one of the things, Colin, that you're really well known for are the toys that you design and create. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about that process. When and how did you make the decision to become a toy designer, to begin to create these physical things that we can all see and look at and imagine what they're about? And when did that process happen for you? How did it come about?
They're designer toys, so they're kind of artistic toys that aren't the same things as you'd find in, well, what used to be Toys R Us. I know that that's not around anymore, but not the typical toy store action figures.
You
Although
didn't
I
see these in FAO Schwartz on Christmas Day, huh?
right, although I did collect those at one point as well, and I still have some of each of the things I collected. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a kid on the inside. And I'm not embarrassed about it. I don't care. I love that stuff.
Speaking of art and creations, you've got a character, the baby fat.
So Baby Fats, I'm actually wearing the shirt.
Ah, love it.
He's the world's first dragon, and started out as a sculpture. It was an homage to my son who was born year of the dragon.
Ah,
So and there's all other kinds of stuff wrapped into the name. I've got layers upon layers of meaning in everything I do. It's just the way my brain works.
tell me about some of the other things that you're involved in terms of bringing that such an important message out to the general public so that we can see it.
Sure. Well, so I've been sporadically doing pieces about veteran suicide for the better part of a decade at this point. Sometimes it gets too heavy, so that's why I say sporadically. I've got to do it when I feel I'm mentally able to. I've also been advocating for art therapy for veterans for better part of 5 to 7 years, I believe, and I've been doing that with an organization out of San Diego called Vet Art.
Love
Um,
it.
I want to get that in the Bay Area, though. I want art therapy specifically in the peninsula. I think I want it everywhere. I
Yeah.
want it in the whole country.
Everywhere that there's veterans.
Right. And in reality, I want it everywhere for everyone. I
That
love
makes
my
sense.
veterans. We all need this, though.
Yeah.
Everyone needs this. Start with my veterans, then let's go with the homeless, then let's go with the underprivileged, then let's go with everybody else that needs it. Like
Yeah.
my heart's not limited to just one group. My heart's open to the whole world.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
powerful.
but we're focused on the veterans first, because that's who we are. That's my people.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so last October we had the second art show, veteran art show at the state capitol in Sacramento,
Wow.
right in front of the stairs. And the first year, I just brought a bunch of my art because I was showing my children's book, Baby Fats, and just a bunch of different cans and other stuff that I do. But the second year, I was feeling really down, and figured I'd use the platform to talk to the politicians in their language. And I designed 3 pieces, and that's all I brought was 3, just so they'd stick out. And I was using that sort of to climb up out of my hole that I was found myself in. And in the middle of designing those pieces, and I'm not going to say the name because I'm not trying to use this name for anything, but somebody that really brought me into the art scene, his art drew me into the art scene, committed suicide.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and
That's tough.
that's when I was like, not enough's being done in the peninsula, and I need to do what I can do. So I decided I'm going to do an art show about veteran suicide and mental health.
Wow.
And That's actually I've done the soft opening, but the main event is May 18th, which is a Saturday. But
And we're going to dive into that in a second. I really
right,
want to hear a lot about that. This is because it's a stepping stone. It's a real stepping stone. I
right,
think, you just described a story to us, which was very personal, and thank you for sharing that with us. Um, but it's obvious that that time period, that show, and the circumstances surrounding it really launched something even stronger in you.
yeah.
And I think that the show that we're going to talk about in just a few minutes, it's upcoming. That is, it is both a launching point in to a certain degree of really moving to that next level with regards to this issue and your message. But it's also a foundation from which I'm sure that a number of things are really going to spring from. So I'm excited to hear about that. And just a note, you and I met for the first time through Veteran Comic Con.
Right.
Um, an organization and an event that focuses on um, creating both a community and an opportunity for veterans to showcase their art and to showcase their creative endeavors really as therapy, um, for them, but also to just introduce their incredible talent to the world, to the general public. And along with introducing their talent comes the opportunity to introduce their stories. So I just wanted to really, ask you about Veteran Comic Con
Sure.
and what has that event and that organization meant for you in your career and for you and your opportunity to really get your message out there and get your talent showcased to the greater world?
Well, first of all, the event was amazing. I had a great time. I mean, you guys for some reason put me right in the front, which just made me feel super important. Like everybody that walked in, they saw me first. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And just the amazing artists that were a part of that event. I mean, I don't think I'd met any of them before that event, unless I'm forgetting some of them, but I don't think I'd met any of them. And there's just so many amazing veteran artists out there doing so many great things. It was wonderful to see that. You don't see a lot of people doing this for veterans, but in reality, I don't know if you see anybody doing this for veterans aside from you guys.
Well, I think it all comes out of Connie Pleasant's heart and her heart for veterans and her desire to just create again an opportunity for veterans as artists to express themselves, but to also create that opportunity for them to participate more deeply in the therapy of their art, but to expose the world to it. I mean, I am impressed. I'm like you, only I'm not going to take the next step. I'm not a guy that can draw. And I'll never put anything on paper that, at least I say that now. But to be able to see the incredible work that you guys as veterans do, and to be able to share in it, to be able to be there, to be able to sit and watch some of these little panels at Veterans Comic Cons where you guys draw in an instant or you form things or an instance, or even more importantly, you just share with us about your art and your creative process. That's powerful. So certainly we are thrilled about the opportunity to have had you at Veteran Comic Con. We hope you're there every single year.
That would be an honor. It would be an honor.
All
And
right.
hey, not all of us are as forthcoming as me. So don't underplay your role in what you do to draw out, the veterans, and I'm sure we're not all as easy as me with these interviews. And I mean, look at what you do with the kids in your camps. And I mean, you do a lot. You do what you do. And so you may not pick up a pencil or mold or sculpt with clay or that, but I would challenge you to try some of that anyways.
You've inspired me. You've inspired me because I have images in my heart and mind as well. And so just your story and the story that says, I was a guy that couldn't do this. Um, and yet you did.
Yeah.
So that gives hope for all of us old guys, particularly, that perhaps the artist that is buried in all of us, I think, you know, um, may have the opportunity at whatever stage in life to come out.
Yeah.
That the art that we have within us can be expressed. So,
Especially drop if we can drop the judgment and the
yeah,
ego and just do it. Who cares what it looks like?
I love that. I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah, the
Because to
process
somebody, it's going to look
itself.
amazing. To somebody, it's going to inspire or challenge or something like that. And that's what matters, I guess.
And you're just doing it. Doing it.
Yeah.
Watch. When you do it, something in your brain is gonna just rewires something in the brain. And I don't know how to explain it in words. You just gotta do it and see for yourself.
Yeah. I love that. I will. I'm
Awesome.
going to take your advice, Colin. I'm going to
Awesome.
challenge myself to let some more of that hidden artist come out in me. And
Yes.
we'll figure out which way it ends up happening. But
Awesome.
we got to talk about your upcoming show because you've got a show coming up that is important. It's something for everyone. It's something that everyone here in the Bay Area can access. So I want you to share with us about the upcoming show that you have.
The name of the show is Trigger Warning, Uncover, Scrutinize, Act. And it's an art exhibition about veteran suicide epidemic and mental health, and it really is a call to action. That's why. So I'm uncovering the whole veteran suicide epidemic, and I'm trying to show you inside the mind of a suicidal veteran, drawing from my own experiences as well as the hundreds or thousands, maybe even, of veterans that I've communicated with, some of whom are no longer here. Um, Scrutinize, that's what I'm hoping you guys will do as you go through this exhibit. And then act. I really am hoping that what I have done will inspire you to take action. And I will have a little thing at the end where they can drop business cards, or I'll have a piece of paper where they can give me their information. And I hate when people have books where they have to sign it. I'm actually going to have a box so they can put it in there, because
Ah,
that way keep their privacy and stuff.
wonderful.
But I've kind of taken off all the gloves. There'll be installation pieces, sculptures, um, illustrations, canvas work, and poetry, all by me. So
Wow.
I've been
Wow.
working on it for the better part of a year, working day in and day out on art pieces about something that affects me so deep. And, I'm also a suicide survivor. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this affects me real deep.
So this
Um,
taps into the depths of your heart. This is
yeah,
this is a work of the heart.
right. And a little sort of twist to all of this is a lot of these art pieces have multiple meanings to me, because I am a veteran who is a father and a suicide survivor, but I'm also the child of a veteran.
Hmm.
So you got to
Hmm.
think that way also when you look at these pieces. So I'm kind of creating things from multiple perspectives, because veteran suicide, it affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's not just the end of a veteran life. There's babies and young kids and old
Mm,
kids and parents and
yeah.
friends and just a lot of people involved. At some levels, depending on who the veteran is, there's fans. There's a whole village of people that just get shot down with grief
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
every single of the 22 suicides that happen each day.
22
And
veteran suicides every day.
yes. And so what I hope to inspire is sort of three things. They're more than three, but there are three main things. They're access to therapy, their knowledge and access to what's already available, and access to art therapy or art. Those are the three things that I would love to somehow come, or the seeds at least, come from my show. Oh, and as far as my show, that's right. When is it? What is it? So the main reception is May 18th, which is a Saturday from 1 to 7. It's at Tan Fran Mall at C Gallery. That's SIY Gallery. And that's right near the second floor indoor entrance to Target. So it's very
Okay.
easy to find.
And Tanforan Mall is in San Bruno.
It's in San Bruno on El Camino, 1150 El Camino. So it's right where 380 overpass in El Camino is. Also, there'll be a reception. I'll be speaking at 5 o'clock that day. The reception's in AZ Gallery, which is basically when you go through the show, we're going to go out the back door and into the back door of AZ Gallery, which is where I have my studio and 11 other artists have our studio. But it's also, it's a pretty heavy show. So we come through this and it's kind of the chance to exhale, see some other art, kind of, you know, breathe the life back into our souls and just get a chance to interact and maybe just discuss what we've seen and then kind of hear me say maybe some of the things I'm saying right now, but in person and ask questions. Maybe know that you might not have seen the two binders of poetry that were there. Get a couple hours chance to go back and look through them if you want to. Maybe you missed the box with the information. You go back and put your card or fill out the paper and put it in, or whatever else you'd like to do. I also would like to let you know that for the entire month of May, I will be starting actually right now, um, Tuesday through Thursday, 1 to 4. There'll be, previews before May 18th, and then, you know, just opening, after May 18th, for the
So
show.
that'll be Tuesday through Thursday,
Right.
1 to 4. The
Correct.
space will be open and available for people to come and see the exhibit.
Correct.
Fantastic.
And also, if you can't make any of those times, you can message me and we can create an appointment. So the show will be up all of May. They are all working studios, so there are not like regular business hours. So you will have to make an appointment with me to come see it outside of those hours. But
Okay.
I mean, I
Well,
really
that's
want people
incredible.
to,
I mean, this is so important to you, and the
right,
message is so important that besides the fact that it'll be open 1 to 4, Tuesday through Thursday throughout May, you are inviting people to connect directly with you, and we'll get your contact information in just a moment, but to connect directly with you, and you will provide access when it's convenient for them or when they're able to see. You'll provide access to the exhibit and to the opportunity to see all of the work that's in the exhibit.
yes. And to be clear, the Tuesday through Thursday, 1 to 4, I'll be the one opening it up. So I will be there those days as
Fantastic.
well.
So
So
basically, there's no excuse for anyone that really has even a little bit of interest in this issue and gaining more knowledge and gaining more opportunity to find out how they can help while at the same time really having the opportunity to have the experience of you, Colin Hoffman, you, the artist, and you, the veteran, who, as you said, are a suicide survivor and someone who's really committed themselves to bringing this issue into the forefront. They get the exhibit and they get access to you, and basically at any time that they can. So I just want to really encourage people. There should be nothing that keeps you away from becoming part of the village that supports this issue and supports the work, but more importantly, supports the idea of doing something about the fact that we're losing 22 veterans a day, every day, to suicide. I didn't know that number. I'm willing to bet that a lot of people who are going to watch that didn't know this number. And certainly within me, it's heightened in understanding. This is a tragedy, but it's an epidemic. 22 veterans a day.
And that's only
Every day.
reported. There's certain cultures and religions that won't report those. Um, there's certain people that will just kind of go into the wherever and disappear. There's suicide by cop. That's very prevalent thing. And I'm not trying to. It's just a thing. It is something that happens. Then there's the slow suicides, just the you know drinking and drugs and stuff. And I'm not talking about the casual drinking, but like
Yeah.
drinking to be gone. And there's all the other types of the accidental deaths that were suicides. There's all kinds of things. So in reality, those are only the reported numbers. So
Okay. Okay. And I want you to tell us once again about the date and time of the hard opening on May 18th. Tell us about that. And then if you could follow that, Colin, with letting us know what's the contact information that you would like us to use to be able to connect with you.
sure. So the date and time is Saturday, May 18th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And my email is bigcartist@gmail.com.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Colin, I've had such a wonderful time spending more time with you. Looking forward to us spending a lot of time together in the future as we continue to work on promoting this issue, such an important issue, as both of us continue to mingle within the community of artists and those that are committed to the idea of veterans engaging in art, having the opportunity to share their art, share their message through art, and gain the therapy that they need through the practice of their art. So I want to thank you for spending time with me today and for sharing really personal stuff and really important stuff from your heart and from your incredibly creative mind. So thank you again, everyone. Let's make an effort. May 18th, 1 to 7 p.m. at the Tanforan Shopping Center in San Bruno, California. Let's be there for Colin, and let's be there for all of the veterans that need us to step up and be a village for them, to step up and be that foundation that helps them gain the footing that they need to continue on, to thrive, and to see the value that they bring to this world through their lives. Colin, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll see you on May 18th.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
All right. God bless.